Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're tackling something a little different, but right up my alley. Repurposing, and not just anything, but those old photo frames you might have tucked away in a closet or attic. You know the ones with so much character and history. We're going to transform them into unique pieces that'll add so much warmth and personality to your workspace. Whether you work from home in a small office nook or even have a dedicated studio, these ideas will work for you. We're talking about easy DIYs, budget-friendly solutions, and a whole lot of creativity to make your workspace feel more inspiring and uniquely you. So grab a glass of sweet tea, get those creative gears turning, and let's get started. Now, you might be wondering why use old photo frames. Well, let me tell you, there's something so special about taking something old and giving it a new purpose. It's sustainable, it's budget-friendly, and it allows you to infuse your personality into every corner of your workspace. Instead of letting those frames gather dust, we're going to breathe new life into them, creating one-of-a-kind pieces that you just can't find in stores. Plus, there's just something so satisfying about giving new life to something old. It's like uncovering hidden potential and transforming it into something beautiful and functional. And the best part? You don't need to be a crafting expert to pull this off. We'll walk through every step, from finding the perfect frames to adding those finishing touches that make all the difference. Trust me, it's easier than you think. Repurposing old frames is also a great way to add a touch of history and character to your workspace. Those frames might have stories to tell, memories held within their gilded edges. Why not let them become a conversation starter, a piece of your personal journey woven into the fabric of your work environment? So let's ditch the mass-produced cookie-cutter decor and embrace the beauty of imperfection and the charm of repurposing. Let those old photo frames tell a new story, your story, in the heart of your workspace. Okay, so you've gathered up those forgotten frames from the back of the cupboard. Now let's get them prepped and ready for their big makeover. Don't worry if they're a little dusty or have a few nicks and scratches, that's part of their charm. First things first, give them a good clean. A little soap and water go a long way in removing any dust or cobwebs. You can use a soft bristled brush to get into those nooks and crannies. Once they're dry, take a good look at their condition. Do they need a little TLC? Maybe a loose corner needs securing or some chipped paint needs touching up. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. A little wood glue, sandpaper and paint can work wonders in restoring them to their former glory. If you're going for a more rustic or vintage look, you can even embrace the imperfections and leave some of those marks of time untouched. It adds character, you know? Now, if you're planning on painting the frames, it's a good idea to give them a light sanding first. This will help the paint adhere better. You can use a fine grit sandpaper and go over the entire surface, just enough to rough it up a bit. Once they're prepped and ready, it's time for the fun part, transforming them into something amazing. So grab your tools and let's get creative. Now comes the fun part, deciding on a style for your workspace. Whether you lean towards minimalist, vintage, boho or modern, old photo frames can be incorporated seamlessly. For a minimalist workspace, think clean lines and neutral colors. Paint those old frames white or black and use them to display motivational quotes or abstract art prints. You can even group different size frames together for a cohesive and modern look. If vintage is more your style, embrace those ornate frames with their intricate details. You can leave them as is or give them a fresh coat of paint in muted tones like sage green or dusty rose. Use them to display old botanical prints, vintage maps, or even antique photographs for a touch of nostalgia. For a boho vibe, think natural textures and earthy tones. Look for frames made from natural wood or rattan. You can decorate them with macrame, feathers, or even dried flowers for a touch of whimsy. Use them to display inspirational quotes, dream boards, or artwork that speaks to your soul. And for modern workspaces, try sleek metal frames or those with geometric shapes. Paint them in bold colors like navy blue or emerald green, and use them to display modern art prints, graphic designs, or even architectural sketches. The key is to create a space that reflects your personal style and inspires you to do your best work. Chapter 4. Creative ways to repurpose old frames. Now that you have a vision for your workspace, let's talk about some fun and creative ways to repurpose those old frames. And trust me, the possibilities are endless. First up, vision boards. Who doesn't love a good vision board? Take a large frame, cover the backing with corkboard or fabric, and use it to pin up inspiring images, quotes, and goals. It's a great way to stay motivated and focused on your dreams. Next, we have wall organizers. Turn a small frame into a handy wall organizer by attaching little hooks or clips to the bottom edge. You can use it to hang keys, jewelry, or even small plants. It's a charming and practical addition to any workspace. Now, if you're anything like me, you love a good whiteboard. Simply paint the glass of an old frame with chalkboard paint and voila! You have a unique and stylish whiteboard for jotting down notes, to-do lists, or even brainstorming ideas. Don't forget about memo boards. Cover the backing of a frame with fabric or corkboard and use it to pin up notes, reminders, and important documents. You can even get creative with decorative push pins for an extra touch of personality. And last but not least, calendars. Find a frame with a large enough opening and use it to display a calendar. You can even use chalkboard paint on the glass to create a reusable calendar that you can update each month. Chapter 5. Decorative uses of frames. Now let's talk about using those old frames to add a touch of personality and visual interest to your workspace. First up, gallery walls. I love a good gallery wall, and old frames are perfect for creating one. Mix and match different sizes, shapes, and styles of frames to create a dynamic and eye-catching display. You can use them to showcase family photos, artwork, or even vintage postcards. Next, we have framed shelves. This is a fun and unexpected way to add storage and style to your workspace. Simply attach small shelves to the inside of larger frames and use them to display books, plants, or decorative objects. Layered empty frames are a simple yet impactful way to add dimension and texture to your walls. Simply layer different sized frames on top of each other, creating a sense of depth and visual interest. And for a truly unique and eclectic look, try creating a frame collage. Group together a collection of frames in different sizes and styles and arrange them on the wall in a random and organic way. You can even overlap the frames for a more layered and textured look. Remember, the key is to have fun and experiment until you create a display that speaks to your personal style. Chapter 6. Functional projects using frames. Who says old frames can't be functional too? We're going to turn those vintage finds into handy organizers and stylish storage solutions. First up, jewelry holders. This is one of my favorite ways to repurpose old frames. Simply attach a piece of chicken wire or fabric to the back of a frame and use it to hang your earrings, necklaces, and bracelets. It's a beautiful and practical way to keep your jewelry organized and on display. Next, we have desk organizers. Turn a shallow frame into a stylish desk organizer by dividing the inside with small pieces of wood or cardboard. You can use it to store pens, pencils, notepads, and other office essentials. Now, let's talk trays. Attach handles to the sides of a small frame and you have yourself a charming vintage-inspired tray. You can use it to serve drinks, hold candles, or even corral small objects on your desk. And for all you tech lovers out there, you can even turn an old frame into a tech station. Attach small hooks or clips to the sides of a frame and use them to hang your headphones, charging cables, or even a small mirror. With a little creativity, those old frames can be transformed into functional and stylish additions to your workspace. All right, let's talk about adding some personality to the inside of those frames. Don't be afraid to get creative and think outside the box. Or should I say inside the frame. Corkboard is a classic choice for creating memo boards or vision boards. It's readily available, affordable, and provides a great surface for pinning up notes, photos, and inspiration. Fabric is another fantastic option, adding a pop of color, pattern, and texture. Choose a fabric that complements your workspace decor, whether it's a bold floral print, a subtle geometric pattern, or a textured linen. Scrapbook paper is perfect for adding a touch of whimsy and personality. You can find scrapbook paper in endless colors, patterns, and themes to match any style. Use it to create backgrounds, borders, or even cut out shapes to decorate the inside of your frames. Dried flowers bring a touch of nature and vintage charm to your workspace. Press and dry your favorite blooms and arrange them inside a frame for a unique and personal touch. Maps are a great way to add a touch of wanderlust and adventure to your workspace. Frame a vintage map of your favorite city, a map of the world, or even a nautical chart for a touch of exploration. And don't throw away those wallpaper scraps. Wallpaper remnants can add a pop of pattern and color to the inside of your frames. Cut them to size and use them to create backgrounds, borders, or even decoupage designs. All right, let's talk about adding some personality to those old frames. Don't be afraid to get creative and experiment with different techniques to achieve the perfect look for your workspace. Painting is a simple and effective way to transform the look of your frames. Choose a color that complements your workspace decor, whether it's a classic white, a bold black, or a cheerful pop of color. You can even use multiple colors to create patterns or ombre effects. Distressing is a great technique for achieving a vintage or rustic look. Use sandpaper to rough up the edges and surface of the frame, creating a worn and weathered appearance. You can even use a hammer to create dents and dings for a more authentic look. Decoupage is a fun and creative technique that involves adhering paper or fabric to a surface using glue. You can use decoupage to decorate your frames with pretty napkins, scrapbook paper, or even fabric scraps. Stenciling is a great way to add patterns and designs to your frames. Simply choose a stencil with a design you love, secure it to the frame, and apply paint over the stencil. You can use stencils to create geometric patterns, floral designs, or even custom lettering. And for a touch of texture and warmth, try fabric wrapping. Choose a fabric that complements your workspace decor and wrap it around the frame, securing it with glue or staples at the back. You can use fabric wrapping to create a subtle background or a bold statement piece. Now that you've got your beautifully repurposed frames ready to go, let's talk about placement. Where you hang or display your frames can make all the difference in how they enhance your workspace. First things first, eye level is the sweet spot. Hang your frames at eye level or slightly above to create a natural and comfortable viewing experience. This ensures that your frames are easily visible and add visual interest to your workspace without feeling overwhelming. Grouping and spacing are key to creating a cohesive and balanced look. When grouping frames together, consider their sizes, shapes, and colors to create a harmonious arrangement. Leave some breathing room between frames to avoid a cluttered look. Vertical versus horizontal placement can also impact the overall feel of your workspace. Vertical arrangements can make your walls appear taller, while horizontal arrangements can create a sense of width. Choose the orientation that best suits your space and the frames you're displaying. And don't forget about layering on desks. Leaning frames against the wall on your desk is a great way to add depth and visual interest without having to hammer any nails. You can layer different sized frames, overlapping them slightly for a more casual and eclectic look. Now for the best part, personalizing. Let's infuse your workspace with heart and soul by displaying things you truly cherish. First and foremost, your own artwork. Whether you're a seasoned artist or just starting out, framing your own creations adds a touch of authenticity and pride to your workspace. Don't be afraid to showcase your talents. Next, frame those favorite quotes. We all have those words that resonate with us, that lift our spirits or remind us of our goals. Find a beautiful font, print them out, and frame them for a daily dose of inspiration. Family photos bring warmth and joy to any space. Create a gallery wall of your loved ones, or display a few cherished photos on your desk for a reminder of what matters most. And finally, celebrate your achievements. Frame those diplomas, certificates, or awards that you're proud of. They serve as a visual reminder of your hard work, dedication, and accomplishments. Remember, your workspace should be a reflection of you, your passions, your inspirations, and your journey. Well, there you have it. I hope these ideas inspire you to see the potential in those old photo frames and transform your workspace into something truly special. Remember, it doesn't take a lot of money to create a space that is both stylish and functional. Don't be afraid to experiment. Let your creativity run wild, and most importantly, have fun with it. I can't wait to see what you create. Thanks for watching, y'all. Don't forget to subscribe for more design inspiration and DIY projects. And be sure to share photos of your own frame makeovers in the comments below. Happy decorating!